The runaway champions of 2018 are Manchester City.
It's time for the new. A new season. New arrivals. New stories. New expectations. It's time to create new moments. Moments like these.
Thierry Henry! Whoa! What a goal! Whoa! Phenomenal! Paolo Di Canio has scored a beauty here.
Ronaldo. Oh, Rooney! Oh, wonderful! What a goal!
Shots for Shearer. Oh, what a strike!
The goals.
Wow!
The history.
That's British titles!
The drama.
Aguero! Staggering!
The passion. The emotion. This is the Premier League.
Where does football go from here? Drama of the ultimate type!
The time for talking over. The first chance for changes to come to fruition. At the Emirates, former Paris Saint-Germain manager Unai Emery was appointed to get the Gunners firing. At Anfield, Liverpool drafted in Alisson, Fabinho and Naby Keita as Jurgen Klopp looked to strengthen the foundations of an attack-minded side. Chelsea appointed Maurizio Sarri and signed the most expensive goalkeeper in history, Kepa Arrizabalaga. Tottenham were preparing for a new era, planning to wave goodbye to Wembley. And new beginnings too for the Toffees and the Hammers, plus 3 newly promoted clubs who couldn't wait to get started.
The 2018-19 season commenced at the home of the Premier League's most distinguished side. Manchester United welcomed Leicester, hoping that France's World Cup winner, Paul Pogba, could guide the Red Devils back to glory. Alongside him, summer signing Fred made his debut, whilst James Maddison and Ricardo Pereira crossed that white line for the first time as Foxes.
Here comes the 27th season of the Premier League era. Bring it on. Shaw. Sanchez. Tries of handball, penalty. 70 seconds into the new season against Daniel Amati. Andre Mariner points at the spot. And who is going to step up but Paul Pogba? Last rippled the net to help win the World Cup for France. And he has their first significant kick of the season. Not bad for starters. 2 stars in his head, 1 goal to his tally. Mata, scoop towards Shaw, away from Ricardo, Luke Shaw scores, and the points are United's, his first ever goal in front of the Stretford end.
A stoppage-time header from substitute Jamie Vardy offered little solace for Claude Puel and co. The damage already done as United reigned triumphant on opening night.
Liverpool spent more than £150 million in the summer, but a familiar favourite thrilled the cop as Mohamed Salah helped condemn Manuel Pellegrini to a debut defeat. A 4-0 loss for the Chilean, whose clutch of new arrivals were yet to find their rhythm. In contrast, Rafa Benitez bemoaned Newcastle's lack of investment. But Tottenham were the first club since 2003 not to make a single summer signing. A Dele Alli header ensured Spurs began with 3 points. There was no blue feeling for Maurizio Sarri in Huddersfield, where he made the perfect start to his Chelsea tenure. Jorginho, a £50 million signing from Sarri's former club Napoli, netted on his debut. At Molineux, Championship winners Wolverhampton Wanderers arrived full of promise for their first Premier League appearance since 2012.
Again, at last, Wolves proud tremble with pride. Old gold sparkles anew. Hi-ho, Wolverhampton.
Armed with a Portuguese contingent under the guidance of former Porto boss Nuno Espirito Santo, the hosts rescued a 2-2 draw against Everton, who saw £35 million signing from Watford Richarlison score twice on his debut.
The opening weekend's creme de la creme tie was held in North London. As Arsene Wenger bade adieu after 22 years at the helm of Arsenal, there was a baptism of fire for head coach Unai Emery. Petr Cech was preferred between the posts, whilst two of the 5 new additions, Socrates and Guendouzi, lined up for the Gunners. Manchester City's sole signing, Mahrez, was given the nod from the start.
For Arsenal, these are steps on a journey of generational significance, striding out here for the first day of the rest of their lives. For City, the strut of champions intent on becoming serial champions. Raheem Sterling. Sterling! Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Manchester City are purring right from the off.
A sumptuous second from Bernardo Silva ensured a faultless start for the reigning champions.
Smooth enough for City, and the worry for the rest is that they're bound to improve.
For the Gunners, there was no respite as they ventured across the capital to Stamford Bridge for a clash of the newcomers. And the contest began in a thrilling but chaotic fashion as Arsenal's defensive vulnerability showed no sign of improving under new management.
There's one from Morata to pursue. Pursue it he does. And Morata does ever so well. And Chelsea playing with a spring in the step and a smile on the face.
A full-throttle opening that brought some early candidates for misses of the season. However, Henrik Mkhitaryan soon put that miss behind him as he ignited an Arsenal charge.
Mkhitaryan and swept in for the equaliser. Alex Iwobi, 2 in 4 minutes for Arsenal, who've come from nowhere to be level.
The second half paled in comparison to the first as both sides cautiously looked for the edge. But 9 minutes from time, Marcos Alonso stole the show.
And Alonso! Chelsea edge in front once again. That the final act of a thrilling London derby, which Chelsea win on Maurizio Sarri's home debut as manager and having squandered a 2-goal lead along the way.
No hint of complacency from Manchester City in their 6-goal demolition of Huddersfield Town. Sergio Aguero scoring his 9th Premier League hat-trick, and that was without the injured Kevin De Bruyne, ruled out for 3 months. Marco Silva secured his first win as Everton boss in a 2-1 victory over Southampton. Richarlison netting his 3rd goal of the campaign.
For Manchester United, their opening day win over Leicester didn't live long in the memory. Despite ongoing speculation of tension between Jose Mourinho and Paul Pogba, the Frenchman retained the captain's armband. Mourinho had cited a need for defensive reinforcements in the summer, and being on the wrong side of this 5-goal thriller would have done little to displace his theory.
The seagulls soar! This is the stuff of Cloud9!
The attitude that we had is not like we wanted to beat them. They had more anger than us, and I think they show in the pitch.
A shock too for the blue side of Manchester. The champions could only snatch a point against the spirited Wolves, thanks to Aymeric Laporte cancelling out Willy Bolly's fortuitous opener. Liverpool were hot favourites to rival City for glory in May, and a solitary goal from Mohamed Salah against Brighton and Hove Albion maintained their perfect start. 3 consecutive wins for Javi Gracia made it Watford's best ever start to a Premier League season. Wilfried Zaha put a summer of speculation behind him with Crystal Palace's consolation goal. After beginning his tenure with consecutive defeats, Unai Emery and Arsenal recorded their first league success against West Ham United, yet to pick up a point under Manuel Pellegrini. Fulham spent just over £100 million in the summer, but the Cottagers' first win came at the 3rd attempt. New signings Jean-Michel Seri and Andre Schürrle were on the score sheet as a winless Burnley struggled to balance European and domestic football.
The theatre of dreams cries out for fulfilment. Manchester United in search of its style, in search of a smile. United's historical self-imposed obligation to excite and to win invites a critical scrutiny like little else in our game.
A loss at the hands of Brighton meant that the spotlight shone brightly on Jose Mourinho, whose stock had looked far from special of late.
Kieran Trippier set piece, and Kane is up, and Kane scores! It's Tottenham who break through at Old Trafford, and Jose's problems pile up. Lucas Moura too! Twice in a choice! Spurs have ripped into United, and Old Trafford is stunned here. Where to look?
That woe only deepened as United were carved open for a third late on. The hosts had lost 2 of their opening 3 league games for the first time since 1992.
He and they have had some grey days on this ground since last they were champions, but few nights as bleak, as dark as this one.
What was the result? 3-0. Do you know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. Respect, 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 man, respect.
An awful end to August left Manchester United in the bottom half of the table, while 7 teams remained without a win. At the summit, 4 sides possessed perfect records, while Arsenal picked up their first victory under Unai Emery, and Bournemouth had started impressively.
After being held to a draw at Wolves, Pep Guardiola knew a response was critical. City duly overcame a resolute Newcastle defence to leave them winless in 4. In Cardiff, Arsenal fought hard for their first 3 points on the road under Unai Emery, edging the Bluebirds in a pulsating 5-goal encounter. Alexander Lacazette's late winner dealing Neil Warnock's side the knockout blow. At the London Stadium, Wolves roared into life with the first win. West Ham's miserable start to the season now extended to 4 league games without a victory. Tottenham's drubbing of Manchester United seemed like a distant memory as Troy Deeney ignited a Watford comeback.
Olabas with the delivery, it's in! Craig Cathcart! Watford from behind lead Tottenham! What about this?
Tottenham were wounded, but there was little time for reprieve as Liverpool arrived and the Reds were in exhilarating form. A fixture originally earmarked as the first in Spurs' new stadium, but delays meant that Liverpool's biggest test of the season so far would be at Wembley.
Liverpool for me is one of the best teams in Europe, not only in England. Of course, will be a very tough opponent.
It's not about being the best team, it's about being the best team in a specific game to beat the specific opponent.
Milner's corner, form didn't get much on it and had to claw it out a second time, but the goal has been given. And Liverpool, courtesy of Georgino Wijnaldum and goal line technology, have a lead at Wembley. Sadio Mane round the back, aimed in for Firmino, it's against the post and in by Firmino. And Liverpool have doubled their lead. Eriksson delivers, came to Lamela, oh, he has lashed that in from the tightest of angles.
A powerful statement of intent from Jurgen Klopp's Reds, whilst Tottenham was suffering in September. The Liver Bird was well and truly taking flight. The Reds 15 points from 15 and sitting right at the top of the tree.
The blue half of Merseyside had rather less to cheer about. They fell short against West Ham, courtesy of an Andrei Yarmolenko brace. The Ukrainian's first goals for his new club, and Manuel Pellegrini's first win as Hammers boss. There were clear signs that Unai Emery was starting to make an impact as Arsenal secured their second away win of the season. Elsewhere, Manchester United's trying to get a back-to-back victories for the first time. A quick-fire double from Mourinho's men, coupled with some David De Gea brilliance, ended Watford's unbeaten start. Chelsea came out on top against Cardiff thanks to a brilliant Eden Hazard hat-trick, which took them to the summit. A fifth consecutive win for Maurizio Sarri, but left Cardiff still searching for the winning formula. And their defensive frailty was again exposed when Manchester City hit them for 5 the following weekend. Riyad Mahrez on the scoresheet.
Masterful for Manchester City. An early season statement of intent from the champions.
Not to be outdone, Liverpool maintained their perfect start, brushing aside a sorry Southampton. Mo Salah's third goal of the campaign, capping off a first-half rout. Burnley were winless in 6 games in all competitions, but ended that barren spell with a stylish 4-0 thrashing of Bournemouth. A blemish in an otherwise positive start for the Cherries.
After a draw with Wolves and a shock cup exit at the hands of Derby in the week, Manchester United's plight continued at West Ham. Paul Pogba's damning verdict of Jose Mourinho's tactics post-Wolves would have done little to help the cause.
Threaded beautifully, Arnautovic! Manchester United undressed.
That the final goal as Man United fell to a 3-1 defeat in their worst start to a league season in 29 years.
A corrosive week ends in a humbling defeat for Manchester United. More questions to be asked of Mourinho now.
Arsenal, on the other hand, had found some consistency. A late show against Watford gave them their 5th league win in a row, with Mesut Ozil capping off a perfect September.
To southwest London, as 2 of the principal contenders to the English throne faced off with their unbeaten records on the line. Chelsea were purring at the start of the Sarri era and had knocked Liverpool out of the League Cup a few days prior.
It is a blue sky, red letter day. No presumptions, no promises, no premature coronations, but no question the prominent fixture of the season so far. Hazard's on his way, from them for Gomez. Eden Hazard scores! How good is he? Just how good is he right now?
An elegant swish of Eden Hazard's left boot had sparked the contest into life. The game was alive and the football effortlessly brilliant.
Daniel Sturridge! Oh, sensational! A stellar hit from Daniel Sturridge! Oh, what a hit! And Liverpool are level. A beautiful game. Both still unbeaten, both still unbowed. On days like this, the Premier League is quite something. That was a treat. That was a treat.
That late strike preserved Liverpool's unbeaten start, but it was Manchester City who led the way on goal difference. Spurs and Arsenal were level on points. At the bottom, Newcastle, Cardiff and Huddersfield were still to register a win. 3 points at last for Burnley after a worrying start for them.
It's always frustrating when you don't win games. It's tough to take. But, you know, it's one of the things you show character. We've just got to worry about ourselves and just go out there and put on a performance, you know, for ourselves, for the staff, for the fans.
The title cannot be won in September, but it can certainly be lost. After a tempestuous start, Jose Mourinho strode into the cauldron of Old Trafford with speculation mounting that a loss for the Red Devils could be the final straw for their boss.
And racing through is Kennedy, and Kennedy has a chance and scores at the Stretford end, and merely adds to the scrutiny on Jose Mourinho. toe, trying to twist and to turn, and it's two! Evident delight, equally evident despair. And Mourinho runs off for what may be one of his most important addresses to a group of players in a lengthy and distinguished career.
United were pedestrian. Mourinho prayed for a change. Old Trafford demanded it.
Martial to Pogba to Martial. They're level. There is a salvage mission underway. And there is still time for Manchester United to win this. Pogba again. Young to deliver. And Sanchez! The comeback is complete. Could that save Mourinho? An afternoon of fretting and worrying, of self-inflicted harm, and yet now this. A tumultuous day ends in victory for Mourinho and Manchester United.
Watford's poor run showed no signs of halting for Javi Gracia. Bournemouth's summer signing David Brooks dazzled as the Cherries put 4 past the Hornets, a victory that lifted Eddie Howe's side to 6th. At Craven Cottage, goalkeeper Bernd Leno made his first league start for Arsenal in a 5-star display against Fulham. With his contract due to expire in the summer, Aaron Ramsey underlined his quality with a goal of the season contender.
Now Ramsey. Bayern, a bit fancy. Has come off. Ramsey with the header. Look at Sarri, good ball back for Aubameyang. Ramsey's there! Wonderful! Absolutely wonderful! And that was a touch of brilliance from Aaron Ramsey.
Welcome wherever you are to Anfield on Edge, as the Premier League weekend, not shy of melodramatic narrative already, reaches its climax with a contest whose winners will lead the league into the international break.
I think the key to winning or even competing to be champions of the Premier League is to be consistent, to win difficult games. I think City did that very well last season, that's why they become the champions. I think that's definitely the key.
The challengers versus the champions. A fixture billed as one of the standout contests, but ultimately one that failed truly to catch a light.
And here's Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez! As close as anyone has been. Leroy Sané. In goes Van Dijk. It is a penalty. 6 minutes out from time at Anfield. The champions have their chance against the challengers. What a substantial moment in the young Manchester City career of Riyad Mahrez. He has put his hand up in the moment. This is courage, significant courage. Dehi. Riyad Mahrez has blazed it high and horrible. And it hurts. And Anfield hollers. Brave but flawed.
So, a truce was called. 90 minutes of a heavyweight battle over. A stalemate on Merseyside, with all the talk about a miss and not a hit.
Liverpool and Manchester City were both keen to reassert themselves at the top with 3 points. The Reds edged out winless Huddersfield, whereas City put 5 past Burnley at the Etihad. Another game, another loss for Newcastle, this time at the hands of Brighton. 9 matches without a win and 0 points at St James's Park for the beleaguered Rafa Benitez. Cardiff City finally achieved their first taste of success at the 9th time of asking. A 4-2 victory over Fulham left Slavisa Jokanovic bemoaning a calamitous defensive display. His side had conceded 12 goals in the space of 3 games. Arsenal recorded their 7th consecutive league win, a stylish showcase of their skills against inconsistent Leicester. Mesut Ozil's midfield masterclass led an eye-catching fight back.
Liverpool are in the groove now, they're in the mood now. And this hard-running style is leaving Leicester trailing. It's a fantastic goal. It's Aubameyang again. Unstoppable.
Chelsea was still unblemished, unafraid and unrecognisably bold compared to the pale blue of the spring. Manchester United historically flashy, but currently oh so flawed.
Williams struck, Rudiger's goal! Chelsea's lead! Thumping, untended header from Antonio Rudiger. Blue bliss! Backing by Young and stroked home by Anthony Martial! And Manchester United are level at the bridge. Their first sustained and genuine threat, and United strike. And here is Anthony Martial, and Manchester United from behind again lead. And they lead at the home of unbeaten Chelsea. Towards Luis, against the post, Rudiger, and smashed home by Ross Barkley, and Chelsea rescue a point in the 96th minute of 96. Confounded! And I'm afraid that somebody has clashed with Jose Mourinho in the moment. That was neither wise nor sporting.
An extraordinary finale, an extraordinary game of football. 2 points snatched away from the visitors as Chelsea remained untarnished whilst Mourinho left incensed.
Back on Merseyside, Liverpool ruthlessly dispatched Cardiff 4-1. The Reds enjoying their joint best start to a Premier League season after 10 games. For all the joy and pain that football delivers, the sport's true importance was put into stark perspective by the tragedy on the 27th of October 2018. Following Leicester City's draw with West Ham United, a helicopter crash outside the King Power Stadium claimed 5 lives, including Leicester owner Vijay Srihadhanaprabha.
It's been one of the hardest weeks that myself and the lads have had to go through. He wasn't just a chairman. He always made sure that he went out of his way to get to know you on personal levels as well with your families. I remember him as he was a fun, loving guy, always with a smile on his face. And that was him from day one when I first met him. He never changed one bit.
The club obviously has never been something of this magnitude before, so it's difficult to know how to cope under these circumstances, but everything's been done with the utmost respect in Vijay's memory, and his legacy will carry on.
The month ended at Wembley as Tottenham welcomed title-chasing Manchester City to London. A 6th-minute strike from Riyad Mahrez, the only goal in a low-key affair. And the former Leicester winger paid tribute to Vijay.
It was for the boss and the victims. I dedicate the goal to him. It was like a dad for us, for me. I spent many memories with him.
That Mahrez goal maintained City's position at the top. Arsenal leapfrogged North London rivals Tottenham, who were a point clear of high-flying Bournemouth. At the other end, Newcastle and Huddersfield continued their poor starts, but Cardiff ended October outside the relegation zone.